because of Brett.
Oh my God! So, showing me shaking my head in my negative 19 feel after that Buffalo game where they all I can tell you is Dolphins number one, baby!
Things up, baby.
Dolphins
Things
number
up.
one!
I swear, if a certain quarterback is mentioned in the comments, I got my beers ready. I'm gonna crack it open.
Or is it the Serbian kid?
Serbian kid,
This looks done. Oh my God, it looks fantastic.
I'm the man. I said it, and it's reality. All right,
Congratulations.
All right, we are live. Welcome to another edition of On the Clock. I'm your host, Bobby Finstock. Joined, man, I got a whole damn crew here. Usually it's 3, 4 of us. Now we got all these extra guys, and we got, okay, let's count how many Dolphin fans. We got 1, 2, 3.
Three.
I think 4
I
and a
swear.
half.
See what he said? 1,
Three
2,
and a half.
Skip
three.
over
3 and a
me.
half.
3.5, 3 1/4.
And then we got, hold on a second.
Oh, my free agent.
What the hell is that? Wait, we got a Texans fan?
Reppin', baby, reppin'.
Holy crap.
I'll ride with the
Double
Texans.
weapon.
The 7-1-3. 7-1-3.
Oh, I didn't know. All right, everybody.
And the 2A1.
There we go.
Like and subscribe. We appreciate you all for tuning in. We got a lot to talk about. Draft is now less than a month away. So Huddle Up and Wait just ended. Finally, I mean, they were just kind of running over, just taking up with the time. It's all good.
Yeah, what works?
We had to. I had to play the Oscar music. You know, when they're like, you know, thank you everyone. Thank my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister.
The background
My husband,
music,
my
like
wife.
saying, "All right, hurry up."
Yeah, and it's kind of like,
You got kicked out of
and they're still talking. And that's exactly what Dave did. Dave kept going and going and going. No, I'm just
I did that purposely because I heard that, damn it.
I had no idea what was happening here. I'm like, well, what's going on?
He started
Kinda
listening
creeped
to his
out.
phone.
Bobby, can I just say something? I am so happy we have our guest George Costanza in a Dolphins hood tonight.
I have to find. I saw a scene yesterday. No, the day before yesterday, Seinfeld, which reminded me of it so bad. It reminded me so bad of it. Just the way he goes, "You like that, huh?" Like it was just the way he said it. Like, oh, that's Evan, dude. But first off, yeah, that's Evan Posner, dead center of Finn's bandwagon, with his co-host to his right. That is Michael Vogel. Then you got he's
The brains
also
behind the
bandwagon.
operation.
You got Dave Stager below him of
Fins
Huddle Up and
down.
Wait, Green Bay Packers fan. You got Brett Legassi, Huddle Up and Wait, and then you got the No Holds Barred Wrestling Hardcore Alex
Gurus.
Brown, Alfred Matthews in the house. They are Texans fans.
Oh, yeah.
Fun show. I'm sorry,
Oh.
fellas. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
That's going to be a
We had
fun
so
one.
much fun. Honestly, we had so much fun on Wednesday. It was
Oh, they
insane.
It was a
always
long
have-
show.
I couldn't
If
help
you don't tune into
Long.
that, and look, if you're watching
2
on
hours.
Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, smash that like and subscribe button and do yourself a favor. If you are any sort of wrestling fan, whether you're a novice, old time, now tune in to No Holds Barred. They're a lot of fun. It's a blast. I get a kick out of them. So
Thank you.
Absolutely. So look, they're Texans fans, but they got to live with it for 30 minutes. We're going to talk we're going to talk some Dolphins. Okay.
It's okay. We're used to it. Just go ahead.
There you go.
We're used to it.
All right. Well, I'm going to start off with Michael, and I want to talk about something I discussed on East 10th Street Boys. Evan was there, so that's why I'm starting with Michael. Then we could go with Brett, and then
Wonderful.
the rest of the panel could discuss on the prospect himself. Okay, and that's Jamar Gibbs. The Dolphins. There's a rumor going around.
Jameer Gibbs.
Oh, Jesus, Evan, shut the hell up. God almighty. This is he likes to correct. So anyway, Anthony, good to see you, brother. And
Oh, someone's name.
Jock, thank you for tuning in. Anthony, we are a full house tonight. We got a lot of stuff going on. Next time, we'll bring you in, brother. All right, so very quick. So Jahmyr Gibbs, Dolphins are reportedly interested in. Okay, there's talks that they might even want to trade up if he falls enough that they could get a reasonable, price to get him. So I want to first ask Michael. First off, what do you think of him as a player, as a prospect? What he could do in the pros, and how do you like his fit with the Dolphins?
I mean, he's a running back, and we keep complaining we don't get running backs high in the draft.
True.
A couple of those Alabama running backs have really hit home runs in the NFL. So you bring him into that offense, I think he'd be a dynamic player as well. That's right. O-line pride, baby. Give me O-lineman at 51. Forget the running backs.
So what do you think about him as a pro prospect, though? I mean, yeah, Dolphins want a running back, fans want a running back, but can he fit Miami's offense? Do you think he could be successful in the NFL?
I mean, yeah, I think he can be successful in the NFL. Again, it all depends on we hope that he can fit in the scheme, or like Coach McDaniels has said many times, like you fit the scheme around the players that you have.
That's true.
So what is he best at? And you got your stud wide receivers out there and a running back, get the ball out of his hands, so he ain't got to sit back there for 5 seconds and take stupid sacks and bounce his noggin off the carpet.
There you go. Evan and I discussed it on Monday night, so I'm going to give the ball to Brett. Brett, your thoughts of Jahmyr Gibbs and his fit as a Miami Dolphin?
So let me just show out there my beer I'm having.
No marketing.
It's War Possum. We're in a war room. I just thought it was fitting.
There you go.
Yes. You were very happy when you got it. Like it fit exactly.
Oh, I forgot I had them in the fridge. That's why my wife brought it to me. I was like, yes. Anyway, sometimes people ask me what I'm drinking. That's why I want to do that. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. A lot of these guys don't make it out of Alabama. Brian Robinson's been pretty good, considering what happened to him. But he started out pretty good. The last few have been good. Najee Harris, we're still not sure what he is yet, but Jahmyr Gibbs, like Dave said, it's kind of like, was it Dave that said it? Anyway, someone said it was like Alvin Kamara. I don't remember who said that to me.
I said Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, so he's very similar to him. I would take him because he has that quick feet. He has that explosiveness. He has that ability to catch, break tackles. Like he's a little bit of all-around back. And in Miami as a fit, I think he's a great fit because he can play wide zone, inside zone, out. It doesn't matter what you put him as. He's a good receiver. Mike, you talked about a little bit about offensive line, and I completely agree. Here's the problem. Keeping 5 studs up front is difficult to do, and it's expensive to do. And I was taught a philosophy that I'll never forget now is if you have 5 studs up front, your running backs can be average. So that's one way to go. If you have a stud running back, your offensive line can be average. So it's right now Miami is at the point where they need impact players. And you guys know how I am about impact players. Jahmyr Gibbs would make a huge impact on this offense. And I'm not huge on like Alabama running backs, but Gibbs I do like a lot. I love his footwork. I love his explosiveness. I love his toughness. And I love like he's more of what we don't see out of Alabama backs as often. And I think he's going to be the next good back out of Alabama. I think he's what Kenyon Drake maybe could have been without the injuries.
Interesting. All right. And then I saw Michael kind of freeze up. So unless Brett absolutely pissed him off, he may have dropped out.
I doubt it.
Dave, obviously a Packers fan, but you could talk about him as a prospect. Do you like him as a prospect coming into the NFL? Do you not like him? What do you think he could offer a team in general?
I think he needs to bulk up a little bit. He's about 195, 200 pounds. So he's a good scat back. He's not going to be a 3-down back in the NFL. I just don't see him going to Miami because there's one thing the Shanahan offense McDaniels runs that you need as a running back, as a pass catcher, as a hammer back, all of them. You need to be able to pass protect. That's the one thing you have trouble with is pass protecting. I don't see him going to Miami because of it. And that's why I think Miami, if they get a running back in the draft, they're going to get someone who can pass protect, but also can hammer the ball. because there's injury concerns around the other backs. Also on 1-year deals, which make them more expendable, especially if you get a back that you can kind of put all the weight on. And I just don't see that with Gibbs.
Okay, so
one thing I will say real quick about that is with the pass pro, it's not usually difficult. It's just the know-how and want to. The know-how is the easy part to teach. The want to is the part you can't teach. So if he's willing to do it, easy. If he's not willing and just wants to be a receiver, not as easy to overcome.
Kind of like Gesicki as a blocker.
Yeah.
The open door policy.
So, and we'll move on, and then I'll start with Evan at the next Dolphins topic, but just staying with Jahmyr Gibbs. Alfred, Alex, have you been able to look at any of these draft prospects, and do you have an opinion on Jahmyr Gibbs as a prospect coming into the draft?
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you can go first, Alex, I can.
So a while back, I was actually talking with Michael Brown, and I did my own little projection of where certain draft prospects are gonna go, and I actually had Jahmyr Gibbs going to Miami because I think if the Miami Dolphins do draft Jahmyr Gibbs, he's RB1 from day one. He starts right off the bat, and I think that's an amazing get if that's somehow, if you guys somehow get him. But I think there's some other prospects and positions that you guys may need to fill first, specifically O-line and maybe a little bit on the defense. But if you were to get Jahmyr Gibbs, outstanding pick for the Dolphins.
Love it.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I'm not
Yeah,
missing anything. Alfred, what are you thinking, brother?
I follow, like I said, I followed Jahmyr Gibbs ever since he was at Pitt, and then he transferred to Bama. He had a very good combine, ran, I believe, 3.6. In my rankings, he's actually my second ranked running back after Bijan Robinson. So he's actually definitely can play. I have like around about my late first, early second round grade on him. If I had an NFL comparison, I'd compare him to Kamara, Alvin Kamara. Gibbs is like he's a threat in the backfield as usual. Like I said, obviously he can run. He has speed. Can make like real good cuts running the ball. And he's a very good route runner, and he has a kickoff return potential as well. So he has the total package to be very good. I mean, obviously the weakness is probably he needs to work on his blocking a lot. If he can manifest that, he'll be a very good complete back. But I still like Gibbs, and like when Alabama's offense receiver wise took a step back this past season, it definitely depended on Gibbs running in the offense.
That's a lot. That's a great point, man. You hit a lot of nails on the head. And just talking to what Alex just brought up, Michael Brown, we're talking host of Bottoms Up, Fins Up, and Beer and Sports and whatever. He's just started back on Bottoms Up, Fins Up on the network. You can see him on Thursday nights at 9:30 Eastern. So very cool to get him back. So let me go ahead and again thank everybody for tuning in. You're watching On the Clock on the Fins Talk Sports Network draft coverage show. Like and subscribe. We appreciate you. If you put your questions and your comments in the chat box, and if we miss you, don't think we will. We'll scroll up and catch you on the backside. Somebody's watching the chat, so usually Evan could catch me up on something if I missed it, or Dave, and or Brett. So all right.
I thought one comparison for Gibbs real quick.
Yeah.
Dion Lewis.
Ooh. Well, that's an interesting one. Okay.
Dang.
I like that.
Love it.
Interesting.
That's a good one.
Evan, I want to talk to you on this. I know you saw the outline, so I know you probably have an opinion on it. And it's hearsay. It's a mock draft, so people can have fun with their mock drafts. But it was a PFN mock draft. James Fragoza of PFN released his latest mock draft, and it was quite eventful. In this mock, he had the Ravens trading Lamar Jackson to the Tennessee Titans, and then he had the Dolphins trading Tua to Baltimore for the 22nd overall pick. The Dolphins, with the 22nd overall pick, selected quarterback out of Tennessee, Hendon Hooker. So, obviously, what's up, man? Thank you for tuning in, man. What do you think of this mock trade? And what would be your reaction? We know realistically, more than likely it won't. But if this happened on draft night, how would you feel about it?
I'd be a Texans fan.
Alex, he just gained a fan.
We'll take you. We need some more.
Let
We
me
need
ask
more.
you something.
We need more.
Okay, I'm the guy who took Hendon Hooker in the second round of 51. If he's still there, I will take him. I would take him. But if you draft Hendon Hooker in this mock draft, who's your starter? Who's your starter?
Hendon Hooker.
Skylar Thompson.
Mike White.
You didn't even say it with a
Mike
straight
White. Yeah, you see, I think Mike White.
Cedric Wilson. Oh.
I'll go start for the Dolphins.
Ryan. No, honestly, I only do this if we somehow got Ryan Tannehill to be the starter.
Well, I mean, you have a good question. The good question: who's going to start? Because is Hooker going to be ready for the season? With
They're not
that
going to be ready for the season.
Give Jalen Waddle 0 because it's such a cool number now. Give Tannehill back his number 17, and we're rolling, baby.
Listen,
We're rolling.
I need defensive linemen to be allowed to wear 0. Just a D tackle wearing 0. It's just it's the best.
It's an interesting concept, but honestly, I think we can pretty much make fun of Tua. Dave's the best at it as much as we want. After the mic,
damn, Dave took my crown.
After the on the mic episode where he spent an hour saying he's never had a better quarterback that he's ever worked with, that he thinks he's found the gold mine, all this nonsense. We can talk about the mock draft all we want. It's never going to happen. The only concern I have, if this was next year, sure, Hendon Hooker's a year too early. If Hendon Hooker was 100% healthy, 100% I would do it. But because of his stats, the only thing I'm concerned about Hendon Hooker, we have to talk about the guy is 2.5 years older than Tua. He's being drafted this year. He's 2.5 years older than Tua. Tua's going to be in the league longer than him. So all I can say is it's a great idea. If he's a 51 at 22, this is laughable. This is actually one of the dumbest ideas I've ever.
I actually agree with Evan. If he was healthy, yeah, you would take him. There's
he is going to be healthy by week 1.
Yeah,
but week 1, you have to go through OTAs. You have to go through training camp.
They said he'll be ready by the start of training camp to mid-training camp. They said he's ready.
Yeah, and you know what? I like Hendon Hooker as a prospect. Obviously, I think it's more fantasy than it is reality, but I thought it was very interesting. Let me ask a Hendon Hooker fan on this panel. I'm one of those, but I know one of my fellow Dolphin fans, Michael Vogel, is definitely a Hendon Hooker fan. What do you think of this type of mock trade going down?
He's a hustler, baby. I mean, if that crazy trade were to happen, I mean, Hendon Hooker is the guy that that I've mocked in the second round anyway. So
what's up, John?
What's up, John?
If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, it'd be Christmas every day.
That's right. So I wanted to talk about defensive tackles, nose tackles. I wanted to touch on that a little bit today. Yes, Evan. Thank you, Evan. Praise Evan, everybody. Round of applause for Evan.
Evan.
Brett, I'll try to break one. I think that's the weakest. By the way, I think that's the weakest position on defense. That's the weakest position we have on defense right now. I think Raekwon Davis is a bust.
So,
he's a bust. He's an absolute bust.
Okay.
Are you watching Raekwon Davis?
Yeah,
it's awful.
I've heard this. I've heard this before.
I know. Well, we'll continue.
He's awful.
Just hold on a second. So wanted to talk about potential players that Miami, because I know 51. It's starting to really come out now that Miami's looking at running back or they're looking at tight end at 51. That's a lot of smoke at what's going on there. It could be smoke, and Miami could be saying, okay, we're going to wait on offensive tackle, or we're going to go ahead and get that D tackle. But I tell people, do not sleep on the defensive tackle position because, like what Evan has brought up, because of the contract situations in Miami. So, hello. Okay, sorry, my kid's knocking on the window out there. I was like, who the hell's? It's Tristan, yeah.
Of course, it has to be Tristan.
He's the only one who knows. He'll interrupt me. I'll beat him later. Not just So, talking about defensive tackle prospects, Huddle Up and Wait, the show before us with Dave and Brett, they were talking about can't see out of Pitt. You guys think he's rising up boards? You think there's a chance he could fall out of the first round?
The kid out of Pitt?
Yes.
One of the biggest boomer bust guys. That's why I ended with him, because he could go anywhere in the mid-teens. He could go anywhere all the way down to the earliest second. I feel like his 40 time with how fast he ran, he has the power to play inside and put on some weight behind him and do that. But he also has the power to lose weight, still hold that power and play an edge. and have his hand in the dirt, like he as a true 3-tech defensive end, or even a hand in the dirt on the outside. I just think he's that versatile player that you can build him how you want. It just matters what team needs him and where he's at in the draft.
So some of the prospects that I had written down was Cansey was one because, like you said, boom and bust prospect. He made some noise at the combine. He could either fall or rise. It's one of those kind of guys. Before I get to that list, though, I want to ask about Brian Breesy out of Clemson. He's another one I liked starting the draft process, but he's another one I could see possibly falling. Let me start with you, Michael. In regards to Breesy, do you have any thoughts on him? Do you see him going in the first round? Do you see him possibly falling out of the first round?
I guess it all depends on, how, if there's a run of guys going. I was listening to Dave and Brett earlier, and there's something about those Clemson defenses that I don't know. They do. It just scares me off a little bit. So I don't. He's one that could easily fall. I wasn't a huge fan of his, but I definitely see, why he's ranked where he is right now.
And the reason why, again, we talk about the Clemson prospects. What school did Christian Wilkins go to?
Clemson. I'm getting to that.
So I think Miami is not afraid of Clemson prospects.
Right.
And, I think that could be a possibility. That's why I brought it up. But let's talk about, these are the prospects I had written down. And you tell me, and you guys can go, whoever talks first, go for it. But I was going to talk Cansey, Garvin Dexter, Mazi Smith out of Michigan. Dexter's out of Florida, excuse me. Ika out of Baylor, okay? And Keanu Benton out of Wisconsin. And Byron Young out of Alabama. He's another one. So out of these prospects, and Michael has a few or a couple of underrated, late round, undrafted free players, possible undrafted, that we're going to discuss. But out of these guys, which ones excite you the most? And if you're a Dolphins fan, Evan, Brett, Michael. And then if you're not, you just go ahead and answer that question. But if you're a fan, who fits the Dolphins, in your opinion?
Count on Benton. I love Benton. I think he's a great fit. I think he's exactly what we need. And let's be honest, they're prioritizing paying Christian Wilkins, right?
Yep.
And they want a guy that they want to pay him long term. Now, what are you going to do with Raekwon Davis? Can you afford to pay him and Wilkins? That's a lot of money defense tackle. These guys do like to they prioritize the wrong positions. But Brees, I do see him falling, but I don't see him there at 51. I don't know that he's a fit either. But that if you get Benton, you might be able to move Davis back to his rightful position of 5 technique in this defense, where I think he belongs, where he played at Alabama. He's been a nose tackle for so long. I think he's better as a 5 tech / up tackle, 3 tech, depending on the front you give. With Vic Fangio, will do a lot of 4-man fronts. Just depends on what they're doing. I think that's where where it is, and I think Benton really fits that ability to be able to clog the middle, also be able to kick over to 5 technique, be able to stuff the run, and just kind of take over the defense line. But I think Benton is the kind of guy that collapses a side of an offensive line and actually creates issues and allows other guys to get one-on-one matchups. And then maybe Wilkins can become a little bit better of a pass rusher, more consistent of a pass rusher, which I think Wilkins is playing a little bit out of position in that sense.
Yeah.
Where he does really good stop and run, but I think he's a better pass rusher than given credit for, although the numbers haven't been there, which is why I'm hesitant to pay him. But if you can get him more one-on-ones, I think he can get to the quarterback a little bit more. He's not Donald that can consistently beat double teams and still rush the passer. Those guys are rare. But Wilkins, I think you give him a one-on-one, and a guy like Benton and moving Davis over allows that. And then all of a sudden, Wilkins is getting pressure up the middle a lot more.
Alfred and Alex, right after, is there any defensive tackle prospect that excites you in this draft that maybe not really first round? Obviously, there's guys we know like Jalen Carter. He might slip, but we know he's not going to fall out. But any prospect in the mid rounds that you go, man, if maybe for the Texans or any of the team that you go, man, I hope, I think this guy's going to be a good player. I hope Texans get him. But in general, he might be a good prospect overall.
And you're talking, I couldn't understand, you're talking about defensive tackle prospects?
Yes, sir.
Is actually a good question. If I had to, like I said, if I had to choose one that's like somebody I wouldn't mind taking, and hopefully he's there when we take. I have two in mind. So one guy I'm gonna have my eye on in the mid rounds is Alabama defensive tackle Byron Young.
Yes, sir. Byron Young. Yes.
Probably nobody's probably not too familiar of him. He, like I said, he's I think down the line he can develop it to be an average starter. Down the line, most definitely he'll be a very good backup. But like I said, I'm still a fan of him as well. This past season, I want to say he had 47 tackles and 4 sacks, and he broke up 2 passes, and that's pretty dang good. And he's like 6'3", 294. I think his combine was pretty decent. I'm not sure what he did at his pro day, but is an eye I wouldn't mind the Texans taking in the mid rounds. And another guy is a guy I'm familiar with. He grew up in Houston, Texas, and he went to the University of Texas. Keandre Coburn.
Yes.
He's actually a pretty guy I'm looking at in the mid rounds as well. This past season with Texas, he was I want to say second team All-American selection. Straight nose tackle, and the Texans obviously they signed Sheldon Rankins this offseason. But like I said, you can never have too many good defensive linemen. I always say that. And he's a guy played a lot of games at Texas, and he's a load to try to block, and it takes more than one person to block him. That's a guy I wouldn't mind the Texans taking in the mid rounds as well. Like I said, you can never have too many defensive tackles and defensive linemen, period. And he'll fit the bill. So those are like 2 under the radar defensive tackle prospects I really like.
I like them both. And Byron Young, obviously the Dolphins Dolphins in general, they like Alabama prospects. He fits. Raekwon Davis is an Alabama player. Obviously Tua, Jalen Waddle, etc. So it makes a lot of sense. Guys. And there's 2 Byron Youngs actually. There's Byron Young, the D tackle from Alabama, and there's Byron Young, the edge rusher out of Tennessee. So that's something, and I like him as well. He could play multiple spots in the defensive line. What about you, Alex? Any player intrigues you at all?
I mean, y'all were talking about Brian Brees. I would not mind him on the Texans at all. I'm just saying, but being a Texans fan, I wouldn't mind anybody on the Texans because we just need defensive line help. We just need defensive help. We need offensive help. But I mean, Ika from Baylor, I saw him play in his bowl game, and that dude can stop the run. Even though he doesn't have that many tackles this year, we need somebody that can stop the run. And the guy's just a dog. When he hits you, you're gonna fly. So I think somebody like that to get added to our defensive line or just anyone's defensive line is gonna be scary for anybody.
Absolutely. And before we roll on here, I want to get Dave's opinion. Dave, any prospects we're not talking about, or did we touch on any of them? Is there one?
Yeah, you guys didn't mention someone I'd see going in the solid second round and latest at third. Zach Pickens out of South Carolina.
Oh, dude, I have his name up right now. I was going to mention him.
Oh, you don't? Get out of my head.
You're such a liar, Brett.
God, stealing the thunder, whatever. But no, Zach Pickens, man, 6'4", 300. He is a running back eater. The dude will log gaps and just bust it. He's got one of the quickest first steps in the draft. I love everything about this kid. He ran a 4.89 at 300 pounds. He's moving. He's got some upper body strength that make offensive linemen in the SEC question their manhood. So another one later in the rounds, Anthony kind of stole my thunder here, Mazzano, was Moro Ajomo. I can see him in the 4th, 5th round.
Like him too.
Loved his combine. I already loved his tape out of Texas. He was a game wrecker in the Alabama game. It was a huge problem for the Alabama offensive line. I think anybody that gets him is going to be a contributor in a rotational role, but by the end of the year, he wouldn't surprise me as a starter. I think he's going to be a very underrated prospect.
Oh, perfect.
Also, Brian. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, Brian Per se, I feel like people are sleeping on him. He had a down year. 1, he coming off a torn ACL. 2, his sister died. The dude went through a lot within a year. I feel like you go back and look at his
I like him. I like what I've seen from him.
he is a absolute monster, and I feel like
I think they had him projected as a first round pick at one point.
Yeah.
So and then he just kept falling after that.
Yeah. Now we'll say Clemson D tackles have been the ones that have succeeded in the NFL more than any other position.
That's right. Let me just, before we move on to Michael and some late round prospects, maybe we've touched on some, but maybe there's something he surprises. I want to, Evan, you brought up D tackle on the bandwagon, after bandwagon, excuse me. We're talking about our show, and you said, man, we don't have really anybody behind Raekwon Davis, and now you're calling him a bust. But is there any prospect, maybe we talked about it, but, with your eyes.
I just love listening to Brett, whatever Brett said.
We can move on. There's nobody.
No. Honestly, the reason I want to refer that on the defense right now, they've covered every position except that area. He had a down year last year. He was one of the few guys on that defensive line that did not have a great year. And Anthony mentioned, you're not willing to give him a development time. He's had a lot of development time. He's played a lot of games, and he still hasn't shown what he's able to do. Can Fangio turn him around? Sure. But I'm not going to rely on him being our number one nose tackle. I think he has to compete for that job this year. So if you can get one in the draft, great. If you can go find someone in free agency after post-June 1st, go for it. But I would not be comfortable. I'm actually more concerned at nose tackle than I'm on O-line right now. Because O-line, there's depth. Even if they're not superstar players, there's depth there. There's no depth in nose tackle. There's Raekwon Davis, and there's nobody.
The run defense struggles with Davis out. It steps up with him in. The biggest issue with that it looks like it's Davis is the linebackers are not doing their job filling. They're playing poor angles, and they're getting to the gaps late. They're not getting off blocks, and Davis is taking on double and triple teams quite often. I think Davis is out of position playing nose tackle. I think he's a good nose tackle, but I think he needs to move over to 5-tech more often. But he's on his last year of his rookie deal. I do think it's going to be expensive to pay him and Wilkins, so maybe you should draft there as a replacement now. But with that said, I don't think he's the full problem with the run defense at all. I think he's done actually a good job, but it's the depth behind him isn't there either, though.
Let me answer very quick for Anthony, and I want to go first. Thank you, everyone. Just remind everybody, you're watching On the Clock on the Finstock Sports Network. Smash that like and subscribe button. Appreciate you whether you're watching on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We got you. We appreciate you. I think we're at 822 now subscribers, which is awesome. We're hoping to
keep them coming
before draft night. We're growing. Got a lot of fun products, a lot of fun shows, great stuff going on. So, Anthony, why are people overdrafting Miles Murphy? I'm sorry, I like Miles Murphy, but why are they overdrafting analysts? That's what the media side of it tends to do. They overdraft players. They got players rated high, and then they catch. By the time the draft starts, or right the week or prior or whatever, you'll start to see the media catch up to the scouts, and then you'll start to see players start dropping because all of a sudden they go, "Oh wait, I'm hearing that this guy's going to drop."
Because the media falls in love. Yes. The media falls in love with pro days and combines.
It's not that the players are dropping. It's the fact of the matter is that the scouts were way ahead of the media. The media just falls in love with a player. They rise him up, and all of a sudden he's falling. So it's just kind of how it goes.
I think there was like a handsome bearded guy that said something like that in the show previously. I don't know.
Was there? I didn't hear that.
Michael is a
Bob, you're 100% right. Yeah, like the media is behind the NFL. Like I said, the scouts know these guys from the time they're fresh, from the time they walk on campus. They have a good idea who these kids are. They watch them all the way through. So the media is just far behind, which it's fine. It's not their full job.
So now look, we discussed about 51, 84. Dolphins are possibly looking at a running back at 51 or 84. If they draft a running back at 51 or 84, Gaskin could be the one on the way out. We've discussed that before. Offensive line, tight end, more of a priority for the Dolphins. Nose tackle may not be. If the Dolphins look at maybe 198 or 230, 197, 238, or possibly undrafted, what prospects could the Dolphins be possibly interested in, or what prospects could be there that might be worth taking, especially maybe undrafted free agent? Well, that's why we got Michael Vogel. He's going to enlighten us on what players we might be missing. So go ahead, Michael. Tell me before we move on.
All right. So I got 3 or 4 guys. The first one I was talk about nose tackle, and for me, I like a really big bodied guy. Long. In that 300 300 plus range. Broderick Martin out of Western Kentucky, 6'5", 337, ran the 40 in 5.2 seconds. That's scooting for a big boy. He anchors well, heavy hands, occupies the double team well, excellent hand use, is able to swat away blockers, very instinctive. Another one I have is Cameron Young, Mississippi State, 6'3", 304, ran the 40 in 5.10. Explosive off the snap, strong tackler. Has good power. 3 technique is his best position. And then Rashad Colson. Actually, he's my late get. The one that I really fell in love with, though, when we were talking about Penn State last week, is PJ Mustipher, 6'3", 320, ran the 40 in 5.4. Plays all across the line, head up nose, good swim move, ball rush, pure power, swats away blockers, gets blockers off the line well. And then my reach was Rashad Colson, Alabama A&M. This dude is a freaking tower, man. You go watch one of the very few tapes they have, 6'6", 330. He ran a 4.79 on the 40. Big body in the middle, flexibility for his size, length and power versus block, could step in to be a 3-down player. And he's probably more of a project, but he's one that, if you're looking free agents, you might want to take a look at him. He'd be a nice big body to have in the middle.
There you go. Very cool. All right, so we are past that 30-minute mark, but that's okay. That's usually what happens. We're now on officially, even though the logo hasn't changed because we're usually Dolphins Draft Talk, we're on the clock. And now we're going to NFL talk. And
Dave.
Yeah. So let us roll Houston Texans, number 2 pick after Carolina trades up. So they got the officially number 2. They missed out on it. So they're either going to get they had the choice between the 3, but more than likely CJ Stroud is going number 1. There's there's that tape out there with Josh McCown, kind of saying, hey, when you're back, but there's reports that, he just meant when he comes to visit, but we don't know. And then, of course, Todd McShay comes out and says, hey, I have a source that's never wrong. He says Bryce Young is the pick. So we're at number 2 now, and Bryce Young, if he's sitting there, CJ Stroud, another player that is rising up boards because of potential is Anthony Richardson out of Florida. Okay, and Damian Pierce is talking about him. There's a report that the Texans are considering they flow him in. Pierce loves him. He played with him in Florida. So, Alex, I'm going to start, and then Alfred, you follow right up.
Yeah.
What quarterback?
You want him, Alex. You want him.
What quarterback do you want? If you say, man, I like, do you hope the Panthers pass on Stroud? Or do you say, no, I want Bryce Young? Or, hey, man, Anthony Richardson, I just love the idea of what type of talent he could bring to this team. What prospect do you want the Texans to draft?
Bryce Young. That's it. Hands down. Bryce Young. Okay. People keep underestimating his size. Who cares? Okay. The guy can throw the ball. The guy can run. We don't have a quarterback that can do any of that. The longest pass that Davis Mills can throw is a 2-yard little dump pass. Okay. All right. I don't care who it is between CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. I want either one of them. But if Bryce Young is there, you take Bryce Young. Nothing against Anthony Richardson. I don't think he fits what the Texans have. All right. Let him go to Indianapolis so they can screw up his career. Okay. Bryce Young is the only answer that the Texans need right now. That way we can get Caleb Williams next year.
Yeah, that's funny. Nah, I'm with Alex on this one. Bryce Young has been my guy ever since. Even when the season started, he was my guy regardless. And I'm sticking with him. I feel like we can tailor make his offense, the offense to his to what he does a lot. Bobby Slovic coming from the Niners is going to run the Niners offense with the play action, and we have going to have a good running game with Damian Pierce and Devin Singletary. I think Bryce Young will be the perfect selection for the Texans. I'm not even worried about the size. The guy is a gamer. Like I'm big on production in college and the way you the way you play against big time competition, and Bryce Young checks both of those boxes off the bat. If so happen he goes number 1 to the Panthers, I think CJ Stroud would still be a good choice for the Texans as well, but I have Bryce Young rated higher than CJ Stroud, just a little tad smidge. So yeah, Bryce Young definitely got to be the choice. If he's there at 2, Cesario better rush the card into in the pick in, because he should definitely be the pick. Anthony Richardson and Will Levis is no, they should have no reason being in the discussion right there.
I have a question.
The most Texans thing to happen is they draft Will Levis and then I punch my TV. That's what's gonna happen.
We don't need that happening. We don't need.
I need video proof of that, Alex, or it didn't happen.
Yeah,
I do have a question.
I'll have the same reaction too.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. He's got a question.
Our Texans fans.
Yeah.
If Young goes 1,
mm-hmm.
if he goes 1, are you guys guaranteed to take a quarterback at 2, or is there somebody else that you guys see?
And then
Texans.
That's a good question.
I think even if Young goes 1, I think then the Anthony Richardson conversation starts coming into play. I think they do take quarterback no matter what, because if the Texans fans have to go through another year of Davis Mills, I'm gonna burn this jersey. I'm just saying.
I was
that's actually a good question, because I'm actually going to say, if Bryce Young so happens to go 1, I think Will Anderson is going to be in the discussion for pick 2, and the reason being is CJ Stroud's agent is the same agent as Deshaun Watson, and you know how that situation we've dealt with the past year or so with Deshaun Watson. I think that might come to play. And not to mention, Will Anderson at his pro day mentioned that the Texans is the only team so far that has actually interviewed him and talked to him and everything like that. So you got to kind of keep that in mind as well. That could be like
that's a minded head coach,
right? And then exactly, DeMeco Ryan, defensive minded head coach. He went to Alabama, so it kind of makes sense. That Will Anderson would be in discussion if Bryce Young didn't go. If he went 1, like I said, I personally think if Bryce Young go 1, it's going to be a two player race. What I just said. So that's actually a pretty damn good question, because it'll be interesting to see what direction they go if Bryce Young go 1.
Well, and I was reading up a report that said that the Texans were actually telling coaching candidates while they were interviewing them that their plan is to draft a quarterback with their first pick. Now, I think Alfred brings up a great point, and I don't think that should be left out of the question, that if the guy they want is taken at 1, they could go best player available and get Will Anderson, and then probably get a falling Hendon Hooker or maybe a Will Levis, who maybe later in round 1. So that's a possibility. Let me first thank everybody for tuning in.
They would have already traded up.
On the clock, yes.
Yeah,
on the clock, FitTalk Sports Network. Anthony, John Santos is in the house. Looter, whatever the hell you posted up on there. I don't know what the hell that
Licking
is.
back and licking knees.
My goodness, guys. Welcome to the show.
Speaking of Deshaun Watson in Houston, what?
God. No.
Oh, my back hurts. My back
downward spiral.
That's why Dave Stater.
Hey, I will tell you, the massage industries down here in Houston are booming right now.
So just
bet they are now.
That's wild. Marketing.
I am adjusting our draft list right now, and so bear with me. So continue to talk. Let's talk about. Go ahead.
Let me throw something out real quick. So if the Texans felt their guy was going to get drafted first overall, they would have already moved up already.
True.
The Panthers would have got ahead of them, guaranteed.
Great point.
Houston had more ammo. Houston would have got above. Like Carolina had like fire sale to get up there. So I do not think that Houston doesn't like. They know who they want. And they don't think Carolina's getting them. I think they almost know who Carolina's getting, and it's probably Stroud. And I think they're comfortable where they're at, who they want. It's probably Bryce Young. I'm not a huge – I don't think Bryce Young has a huge ceiling in the NFL. I think he's going to be one of the guys that are just good but not elite. So I think they're going to have to build a team around him, but I think what they're doing makes sense. They're going to be able to run the football, which they can already do. They already stick to that. They're going to play physical and defense. So I think Bryce Young fits. All he has to do is be able to use his athleticism. There's a comment here though: is how many quarterbacks has OSU drafted that actually worked out? The same amount as Alabama. So except Ohio State's quarterback, one of the one that Ohio State's actually recruited, actually just was in the Super Bowl for the Bengals. So I mean, whatever. Anyway, so I do think CJ Stroud is going to be a good NFL quarterback. I think Justin Fields actually will be too, but Bryce Young, I think he's going to be good, but I don't know at how good. Where his ceiling is, but I think he's a guy that can start right away and play well. But I don't know, like I think he's like better. I think he's a higher ceiling than Mac Jones. I don't think he's like that low. Like Mac Jones has pretty much hit his ceiling, and he's pretty much average. That's about as average as it gets. I think Bryce Young will be better than that, and I think he's just going to be a guy that you're going to have to surround with talent in order to reach that next level. Which there's quarterbacks like that in the league, So ask a Dolphins fan about that.
So John asked a good question here, which we discussed him, I think, a little bit, but on Huddle Up and Wait, the show before, they did discuss Jalen Carter. Mm-hmm. So Dave, you want to go ahead and touch on that with Brett?
Yeah, he ain't dropping past number 8. I think Detroit grabs him. I think Atlanta grabs him. I think Seattle is a team that needs defensive line desperately. They let go to Shelby Harris, and that was a huge loss for them. I think that Jalen Carter would be a good fit there. I know people say Anthony Richardson, but he's one of our fallers in the draft. Brett and I were talking about that. So with 5, 6, 8, I don't think he falls. Even the Bears. If he falls to the Bears at 9, they need defensive line help.
And let's be honest. Pete Carroll's not afraid of character things. He's not afraid of guys with slight character. And like Frank Clark, he's drafted guys that like the NFL was not a fan of. Like NFL teams like, nah, I don't want to. All right, well, I'll take them. That's fine. I'll go ahead and grab them. So Jalen Carter, I think it's a perfect fit there. The Anthony Richardson thing for Seattle, that would be like their second first-round pick. But yeah, I could definitely see it as a fit. I don't think he falls that far because what he did was not, like I said, it wasn't a DUI like Ruggs. It wasn't like it was him having fun. And like I said, I had a friend that died racing around. Do I think of him as a bad person? Absolutely not. He was a young kid doing dumb young kid things like that. So I don't think Jalen Carter.
We know 100%. We know 100%. One team that's definitely got him off the Jalen Carter off the board, and that's the Raiders. They went out and they made it public that they're taking him off.
So I'll publicly apologize to Dave for the joke I made in the group chat. But in reality, though, the Raiders probably are hesitant to draft guys with character concerns because it has bit them in the ass the past couple of years. Don't forget about David Arnett. So that they might be
that like John Gruden, man. He's gone.
Henry Ruggs. We can go down the list.
Very quick. We're gonna get moving on here to the live mock draft. But Anthony, I don't see.
Disagree.
I think that's a media driven thing about the height and weight. There's quarterbacks.
It is.
Yeah, it's not really teams. I think Brett, said good, but he doesn't think he's going to be some kind of elite quarterback.
But his height doesn't fall into that. Why I said that though.
Yeah, no, I know that. No, but I'm just saying that I think that's more of a media driven thing. I don't think it's a team thing. I believe he's going to be. I think he's probably 1A in quarterbacks this season coming out of the draft. I like what I see out of him, and it's not a knock. Okay, again, I'm not trying to bring up the Tua discussion, but if you're telling me if you saw Tua or him coming out, I would have said Bryce Young out of college, but that's just me. Okay, so
the one with the doors off me.
So we're gonna move on here. Say what?
The disrespect to Tanner McKee from Stanford here. How dare you?
There's nothing wrong with Tanner McKee.
Don't sleep on Tanner McKee.
I don't know.
Second round pick. Someone's gonna come up and grab him second round. Watch.
Hey. So all right. Are you guys ready? Oh, okay. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for a mock draft?
We've been ready.
Waiting on you, Mighty Schneider.
Michael, I don't like the attitude, bro.
You tell him,
Hey, I'm just trying to make up for Evan. He's awfully quiet tonight. Usually,
it's lock and loaded. When
he's planning right now. He's planning right now.
Exactly. He is like that, like that villain in Cartoon Network, Dexter from the. He's just waiting for it.
I don't think you like my Alabama quarterback comment.
Yeah, that's what it was. All right, so let me make sure. Go ahead here.
Oh, shit. Alabama just had one in the Super Bowl. Damn, I'm foot and mouth.
Yeah, that's right. Make sure.
Credit go to Oklahoma.
Lincoln Riley definitely made him a passing QB. Just saying.
All right. So let me come back here and let me take this off. So, well, no, I think we're good. No. Michael's face is blocked. I don't like
Oh
that.
my God, I can read the actual name.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see my face anyway.
You know what?
I'm the
want
other
to see
Vogel.
that handsome face. We need to see.
Hey,
the other
actually,
Vogel.
I do have to step out, guys.
It's so fun to bring this up because I do this at work like every day. I start my morning off by doing a mock draft every day.
Well, there's only 2 players.
I use the PFF version of it, the PFF site, Pro Football Focus.
Hey, Bobby, I hate to do this to you guys. I got to step out. My daughter's crying. I got to get running. I'm sorry, guys.
Go get her.
I gotta go be an actual dad for once instead of talking football with guys. What a loser, man.
Loser. All right, brother. Take it.
All right, guys. Until next time.
Tell that wife to do it.
All right. So see, and I just spent all this time adjusting the list, but that's okay.
We'll make it work.
Skip him. All right, guys, here we go. So the number 1 pick, Carolina Panthers, belongs to Evan. Evan, you got the number 1 pick, brother. Who does it go
Hendon
to?
Hooker.
Why'd you take it out of my mouth?
Tank Dell out of Houston.
Just because. By the way, just curious, who has the second pick?
Alex.
Okay, because I love Alex, my Jewish brother. I'll take CJ Stroud number 1 so he can get his quarterback at number 2.
Hey,
Thank you.
whoa! What's the
Thank you.
playing in here? What?
Thank you.
It's Passover.
It's the Jewish Brotherhood connection.
Jewish Brotherhood connection.
What kind of shit is this?
Can I announce my pick?
Go announce the pick.
With the second pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama.
There you go, Bryce Young. So 2 quarterbacks off the board. So number 3 goes to Michael, Arizona Cardinals.
Will Anderson.
That should be the easiest pick of all right there.
Yeah.
Hey, I kind of like how Alex did it, so I would appreciate if you guys kind of followed suit.
Thank you.
Alfred, you got the Colts.
All right, with the 4th pick in the 2022-23 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Anthony Richardson, quarterback, Florida.
I think that's how it goes, man. I think this is exactly how it kind of plays out. All right. I got the 5th pick. With the 5th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Jalen Carter out of Georgia, D tackle. Number that was supposed to be Brett, but it goes to Dave now. Dave, you are the Detroit Lions.
What does this guy know about drafting?
It's just hazing because I'm a Packers fan. You gave me the Lions.
No, it's Brett's fault.
No,
co-host.
I don't like that. Anyways, all right. With the 6th pick overall in the NFL Draft of 2023, the Lions select Christian Gonzalez and fortify their quarterback room.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Damn.
It's my turn now.
All right, like that. Number 6.
You're breaking up. We can't put.
Oh, here we go.
Qu'est-ce que tu t'as dit? Je comprends pas.
Oh, now we sound like how Tua runs the Miami offense.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Evan.
What is Bobby doing?
I don't know, but
Okay.
you got the
I'm
Ravens.
gonna have some fun. I'm
Evan,
gonna teach you guys something. Avec le 7e choix dans la repêchage de 2023, les Raiders de Las Vegas sont fiers de sélectionner Will Levis de Kentucky.
Wow.
Wow, that was
T'aimes
awesome.
ça? T'aimes ça?
Bobby is lagging horrible.
I know.
Did you say
My
Will
next.
Levis?
Yes.
Why are you
Will
lagging?
Levis,
Who's the
Kentucky.
pick?
You
Who's
didn't
the
hear the
pick?
French? Will Levis.
Will Levis.
Thank you.
We've
He
said
didn't
it 3
understand the
times.
French.
Michael, do you like my French?
That
The
was
damn
very
thing froze.
impressive.
I thought Evan was talking for 30 minutes. All right, Atlanta. That
You
goes
were
to
lagging behind. That's
Alex.
why.
I got
All
it.
right.
Alex.
With the 8th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons are going to be selecting Miles Murphy, edge out of Clemson.
I
We
like
were
it.
just talking about him being overdrafted. There you go. He goes to the Atlanta Falcons to 8th overall. All right, so Michael, you're next, sir. You got the Bears. The Bears.
Kicker.
With the 9th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Tyree Wilson, edge rusher from
That's
Texas
Not
Tech.
offensive line.
That's a good value pick by the Bears.
Okay. All right. Alfred, you're up. You got the Eagles, my man.
All right. With the 10th pick in the 2023 NFL draft, the Philadelphia Eagles is going to select Devin Witherspoon, cornerback, Illinois.
Wow.
Nice.
All right. So I got the Titans, and with the 11th pick in the 2023 NFL draft, the Tennessee Titans take Paris Johnson out of Ohio State.
Yeah.
Texans. Oh, Dave, you're up.
Give us a good one.
Let's see. I think the Texans select. This is going to be the first wide receiver off the board, Quentin Johnston.
Yeah.
You hate him.
I know what he's doing.
I was hoping it was JSN.
Nope.
No, he wasn't going to do that. He was not going to do that. I know what he did.
No,
He hates that guy.
Can you take me
Mayor,
to the
if
punter?
no,
Can you take me to the punter so I can draft a punter to compete with Thomas Morstead in New York?
That's not right.
Haha.
Can I?
Mhm.
Please?
the Dolphins. What?
Can you throw up the team needs? Because I'm curious what.
No, it's my pick now. It's my pick.
I know. I'm just looking.
He okay there, Greedy. Good
I-
lord.
Jeez.
Shut your mouth.
Dear
Just
Lord.
stanza.
All right, so the Jets on the board. That's Evan. Go, Evan.
He wants to see the team needs. He can't see
I've
them.
got it. I saw
I
it.
have him up
got
there.
it.
What's
I'm
wrong
good.
with
I see
What
it.
does that say? I can't even see.
Offensive tackle.
OK. Avec le 13e choix dans la repêchage 2023, les Jets de Vomi sont fiers de sélectionner Peter Skoronski de Northwestern.
You just did that in French.
I did the last two picks in French.
Why did you have the last two picks in French? Because I was lagging.
That's
I
right.
got the
Aren't
Patriots.
you impressed with my French?
No.
Why not?
Alex, you're up. You got the Pats.
Oh, okay.
Give them a
Take a
long
kicker.
snapper.
Take a kicker. They need to replace Jake Bailey.
Long snapper.
Nah. So with the 14th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft,
Do it.
the New England Patriots are going to select JSM out of Ohio State.
Boo! Poor Dave. Poor Dave.
I'm fine.
That's awesome. By the
Wow.
way, highlight
This
of the
draft
night.
is already going off the rails anyway. So I mean,
All right. This pick goes to
Vogel.
Alex Vogel. Yes, you got the Packers.
Huh.
oh Jesus, Vogel, you do it again. I'm out.
Hendon Hooker.
I'll
Hendon
take Hendon Hooker over what
and Will
Freaking
Levis.
Vogel's about to pick. I already know it.
No,
Hendon
just chill
Hooker.
out.
Come on.
You know
Hendon
I don't
like.
Hooker.
Here we go with the
Hendon
15th
Hooker.
pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. The Green Bay Packers select Isaiah Foskey.
I love it.
All right, edge rusher. There you go.
Since your wide receiver was gone,
If you picked another tight, actually, I would have.
All right, Commanders. That goes to Alfred. You
Who
got
has
the
the
Washington Commanders.
Who has them? I can
you.
You do.
Okay. All right. With the 16th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Joey Porter Jr., cornerback, Penn State.
Like it. No, I like that.
Love
okay.
it.
All right. Pittsburgh.
Right in front of the Steelers.
That's-
That's funny.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So the Steelers. Okay. I'm going to go Broderick Jones, offensive tackle out of Georgia for Pittsburgh. I love the sound. I can't see your faces, so okay. All right, Lions. That is Dave. Damn, twice?
Dave, how do you keep?
All right,
Do it.
all right.
Do it.
You know what? I'm going to switch it up here. I can't believe he's still on the board because I thought he would have gone sooner. Bijan Robinson goes to the Lions
Yep.
with the
I like it. I like it.
Detroit because they only got David Montgomery and Swift. Swift's gone next year, and
Yep.
Montgomery's only there on a 1-year deal.
There you go. All right. I like that pick. All right, Evan, you're up, man. You got the Bucks.
I'm going to piss you guys off. I'm going to take. I'll do this one in English. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are proud to select Michael Mayer.
Oh, God damn it!
Other tight end?
There you go. All right, Seattle. That is Alex. You got the Seahawks.
Yep. So with the 20th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks are actually going to take Dalton Kincaid, tight end out of Utah.
There you go.
Utah.
All right. All right. 2 tight ends in a row. All right. That was out. Michael, you're on the board with the Chargers.
All right, give me the. Let me see the team needs real quick because I don't ever pay attention to them.
Quarterback.
I know, right? All right. With the 21st pick in the NFL 2023 NFL Draft, the San Diego Chargers select Jordan Addison.
That team doesn't exist.
USC.
They're always going to be the Chargers. They're renting space in SoFi Stadium.
The Chargers, but Los
Did
Angeles.
I say San Diego?
Yes.
That's phenomenal.
Well, who gives a shit?
They are San Diego.
My bad, San Diego Charger fans.
All right. Alfred, you got the Ravens.
Hendon Hooker.
Who has the Rays I couldn't hear?
That was you, sir.
Oh, okay. With the 22nd pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Zay Flowers, wide receiver, Boston College.
Good
That'd be a
call.
great
Wow.
pick.
Zay Flowers. All right.
Zay
There you
Flowers.
go.
That little
All
nigga
right.
can scoot.
Especially for Tua for quarterback after that trade they made.
By the way, every day I become less of a Packers fan.
Then I'll keep doing it.
All right. With the 23rd pick in the NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select
Punter.
Cali Ringo, Georgia, corner. You guys suck.
Luka Van Ness is falling.
All right, Jaguars. That is Dave Stagus.
Oh God, that means I know who I'm picking for. Fuck.
Keep a straight face.
Dave, that's you, man.
All right. With the Jaguars pick, we are selecting, I believe that's who I see on that list, Brian Branch out of Alabama.
There you go. Brian Branch out of Alabama goes to the Jags. And the Giants, that is Evan.
Avec le 25e choix dans le repêchage 2023, les Giants de New York sont fiers de sélectionner de Tennessee Jalen Hyatt.
Shoot.
Jalen Hyatt.
Very creative, Evan. I love it. All right, Alex.
What'd you say?
You got the Cowboys.
This is killing me right now because I hate this team with a passion.
Kind of same with me. 27.
What did you do before Dallas Cowboys came? Who was your team?
I'm actually a Packers fan.
Whoa!
Yeah. I was a Packers.
What a suck up.
No, I was a Packers fan since I was 9 years old.
What made you switch?
So,
What made you switch?
hometown team. You know, I'm a Texans and Packers fan. I got both. I like both of them.
Oh my God, Stager now. Stager, that means you have to be on our WrestleMania show next Thursday because you have to eat crow right now and be a big fan of the
So I will say with the 26th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowgirls are going to be selecting Lucas Van Ness, edge out of Iowa.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I'm like that's a steal right there. If they get him, I am that. Oh my God.
Oh God, that sucked just saying it.
That would suck big time.
Michael, you got Buffalo.
All right, give me the team needs again, because again, I don't pay attention.
Quarterback.
You're not looking
Quarterback.
up right now?
Quarterback.
Guard, corner, linebacker, safety, receiver.
With the 27th pick in the NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bumblehead Bills select cornerback Cam Smith from South Carolina.
All right, there you go. Cincinnati, that goes to Alfred.
All right, with the 28th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Michael Meyer, tight end, Notre Dame.
He's already been
Oh,
taken.
he's already off the board.
Oh, he's already off.
I
Oops.
took him already.
Sorry. Go back to the team needs
Attention, Alfred.
Oops.
I know who I
Let's
would
see.
take. But...
Darnell
Okay,
Washington.
I'm looking at it
There
right
you
here.
go,
Oh,
buddy.
all right, so the Cincinnati Bengals, after realizing that Michael Meyer is off the dang board, they had to switch their name. This prospect is going to be tackle from Tennessee, Darnell White.
All right, they go. Let's see that. There he is. All right, there you go.
Couldn't fall to 51.
Yeah. Okay.
Saints.
You know what? The fall ends here with the 29th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. The New Orleans Saints select defensive tackle Brian Breesy out of Clemson.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. All right, Eagles. That is Dave Stakers. Me.
Little me.
Well, I think Howie Roseman goes here to get some youth at the position. Nolan Smith out of Georgia.
That's a hell of a pick.
Yeah, Brandon Graham is going to be there on a 1-year deal, and he's going to be out. They need a successor. Nolan Smith can play a rotational spot, and play that speed factor in there, and on blitzes and stuff. That's going to be, man. Eagles will be going back to.
He had a really good combine too. His combine was good.
Needs for me, Bobby.
Oh yeah.
Pull up team needs for me quickly. Just want to see one thing.
Quarterback.
I know. Scroll down.
Quarterback. Hendon Hooker.
Super Bowl MVP.
Hooker.
Let's say offensive tackle, edge, defensive end. That's
wide receiver.
Offensive tackle, receiver, edge,
safety.
D tackle, safety.
They would. I got to see. Yeah.
Quarterback.
Scroll down a little bit. Scroll down a little bit.
Going for a reach pick?
No, I just want to see something. Offensive tackle.
Imagine if Hyatt was there.
Go
still
up,
on
go
the
up.
board.
He's not there. Okay.
Remember,
okay. Remember DeJuan Jones out of Ohio State.
There you go. All right. That wraps it up. So let's go ahead. Let me see if I could go backwards here.
No.
Oh, here we go. Full results. There we go. All right. So let's talk about the Texans. They end up with Bryce Young and
where are the Dolphins?
Quentin Johnston.
Love it.
All right. There you go. Green Bay Packers. Edge rusher out of Notre Dame, Isaiah
I love
Foskey.
Foskey.
I do
It's a
too.
good pick. Yeah.
The Lions, man. The Lions come away with Christian Gonzalez on defense and then Bijan Robinson on offense. That would be
way to go, Stager.
They'll win the draft right there, round one.
Yeah, that's
that. Brad Holmes would do that. That's the thing. Like
They come out with that haul.
Yeah.
Let's see. Eagles go Devin Witherspoon and Nolan Smith, so they build up that D. Cowboys come away with Lucas Van Ness. Oh gosh, I like this. I like this draft. This was fun. Let's see here. Will Levis goes to the Raiders. Anderson, obviously, I think 3 and 4 fit well. Jalen Carter doesn't fall far. Goes to the Colts. To the Seahawks. So there you go. You got to pull this out here. Where's everybody?
Yes, I do have to head out. I at least wanted to complete the mock.
Appreciate
I got to head out. I
sir.
got to go pick up my son.
Yeah, we're about to wrap it up. But thank you guys, Dave Stager, Michael Vogel. We appreciate you guys. Have a good
Don't let
night.
the horde kick you on the way out. See you later, guys.
You mean like what's about to happen to Tua?
Okay.
This guy has an. By the way, you do realize that he's going to be wearing a Tua jersey on Hull Up and Wait all next season when he starts balling out.
It's so funny. So, everyone, let me just say, everyone that's tuning in, thank you so much. This is On the Clock on the FinSock Sports Network. Smash that like and subscribe button. Before we close it out, I just want to ask Alex and Alfred, how did you like being on the draft show tonight?
Loved it.
Oh, it was an honor.
I cannot wait to do it. I cannot wait to come back and do it again.
You are welcome back.
Any
week you let me know, or I could send you the link. You guys are always welcome.
Yep.
I think you guys, the draft show is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get the draft coverage. We'll be on every day during the draft. Every hour the draft is on. So you guys are welcome. So we got this every
yeah.
Friday night, 8:00 Eastern. Come on back. We'll talk more. We'll touch on everything. Everyone else, you can catch those guys, though, besides on the draft show when they come back on Wednesday nights, 9:00 Eastern.
8:00.
Yep, 8 Central, 9
8 Central
Eastern.
for us. Yep.
Yes, that's right. 8:00 for me.
9 o'clock
No
for
Holds
me,
Barred.
Jesus.
Yeah, No Holds Barred wrestling podcast. It's a lot of fun, laid back. They have a blast. Tune in, make comments. Go on there and talk. They will read your comments. They will acknowledge you. You'll be a part of the show, even if you're in the comments. It's the most fun thing. You could catch Evan really on a lot of the shows, but mainly Finn's Bandwagon and the draft show, and then of course post game on Sundays for the Dolphins with me. I'm Bobby Finstock. I run the damn thing, so I'm on everything. I'm usually on everything. But thank you all for tuning in. Smash that like and subscribe button. We will see you. You'll see me tomorrow at 12:00 Eastern time with Finstock today, and then I got to go on an airplane going to Florida, go see my grandparents. So that's what I'll be doing. So till then, if you're a Dolphins fan, fins up. If you're a Texans fan,
# we are Texans.
There you go. Later, guys.